what I'm going to be doing is showing you how to take in a top like this. I've always struggled with this issue where sometimes I buy clothing and it just doesn't fit in the right places, simply because my waist measurements are really small, my hip measurements are really big, and everything together, the shops just don't do bespoke clothing. So sometimes it's worth just taking it in certain areas. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that in this video, so stay tuned if you want to learn. What you're going to need for this project is a pair of sharp fabric scissors, also some pins and a cushion, and also a sewing machine of no particular brand. So I'm going to show you guys the top. It is a top that I've got from Misguided. I absolutely love it. However, they only had a size 8, so I had to buy the size 8, but as you can see, it's really big. But to take it in, what I'm going to be focusing on the most are the lines. Any lines that you see, this is how I look at it. If you see lines, you could probably use them for adjustments. Also, I've opened it up and you can see the other line that I'm pointing at now, and those are called darts. What darts are, they're basically just folds in the fabric that help, folds that you create when you're sewing to help create a shape. So I'm going to be using those lines to kind of guide my amendments and make the top smaller. So the method I'm going to be showing you guys is so simple that you don't actually need any measurements, and I'm going to show you how you can do this. So what I'm first going to do, as you can see, is put the top inside out. The reason why I have to put it inside out is because I'm sure you may, and you should already know this, you can't take something in from the outside. You have to do it on the inside so the outside looks neat. So what I'm doing, which would make it a lot easier for yourself, is to put it on inside out so that when it comes to me pinning, I can pin it in the right places and the pins can stay there. So once I do take the top off, it's ready to be sewn straight away. So that's the method that I'm going to be showing you. I actually haven't got one of those cool wrist pin holders, so I'm just going to pin the cushion to myself, because at this stage you need both your hands free so that you could, get stuck in. So what I'm going to do, I've got my first pin and I'm going to start just around under the bust, around the mid waist, and I'm going to pin the area and take it in. Try not to take in the whole lot, because you want to distribute the fabric evenly across both sides. But what I'm doing here is just generally getting a feel of how much needs to be taken in, and I'm just giving it a rough pin. Don't worry about getting it perfect, because it's not going to be perfect at this stage because it's on you, but it's just to get a rough idea. When you take it off, you can make it a bit more, neater. But so I know that that's probably about half an inch maybe. So I know that I'm probably just going to take in half an inch underneath each bust. You can see it's already taken shape. What I've also noticed, actually, as I look at it, is the top is slightly big as well. So I'm going to follow those lines that we were talking about at the start, and I'll probably just take that part in as well, just to make it look a lot more fitted and handmade, let's say. So after I've pinned a few down vertically, I'm now going to take a pin and pin it horizontally, just to remind myself that that's where I need to stop, or start at least gradually stopping. So it's just almost a reminder. So just to recap, all the pins that are going vertically that is a direction you're going to do the darts, and any pin going horizontally is just to remind you to stop or to slow down. It will make sense. It will make sense. Now that I've got a rough idea of what needs to be taken in and where, I'm going to take it off and get started. Taking the top off now. Remember what we did earlier was quite rough. So at this point, we're going to use the pins and make it very, very clear, because you want the pins to direct your actual sewing. I mean, at this stage, it is your choice whether you feel like it might be easier for you to maybe use chalk and to actually draw the dart so that you could just sew on the chalk line. But I'm not going to be doing that for the video. What you're seeing me do here is doing a diagonal shape, which is the dart, and that's me taking it in. Now, what you want to be doing is taking it in, but also pinching the corners. So you can't just sew up and then leave it, because it would look a hot mess. Don't try it. What you have to do is pin it and sew. And when you get to the, the pin that we pinned horizontally, when you get to that point, make sure you start gradually edging towards the corner and making the stitching, edging towards the corner. I don't know how else to describe that, because when you do that, it has a really nice finish, a very smooth finish, which you will see at the end also. What I'm also doing as well is doing the same thing for the upper chest area that was big. So I'm pinning that, making sure to bring it together into one corner where you see the blue pin. For the purpose of this video, I actually chose to use baby blue thread because I wanted you guys to be able to see the stitching and actually get a clear idea of what the darts look like, but it didn't really work out because baby blue is quite a light color, so it didn't actually show up as bold as I wanted it to show up. But either way, here's a sewing machine. I set it up, I've threaded already, which I didn't do on camera because everyone's sewing machine probably threads a bit differently, so I didn't feel the need to do that. And we're ready to go. What I'm doing is just sewing down, following the pins. Don't forget to backstitch to keep it in place, and just keep going. Finished look. As you can see, I'm looking snatched. The top just looks so much better. Don't forget to cut off any excess thread, and do please pay attention to the darts. Pay attention to the bits that we've taken in and what that looks like. Can you see the corner and the pinch and how it got smaller, and it started off really, really big, and then it pinched right at the corner just towards my nipple. That's how you get a smooth finish. And then you more or less do the same thing for the shoulder top part. Also, one thing that I didn't show you is that I actually took in the back as well. You can see the darts that I did at the back. I do need to cut that off, ignore me. But yeah, I did that also just because I felt like I wanted it to really be sucked in.
Vanessa, Vanessa, Vanessa. She's my vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. Aisha.